The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. The Rap Roundtable is back with another edition, another rendition, another installment of the Vaunted Lunch Hour. It's your boy Jarv alongside the homie Mace. No Sin, no Dini. They have lives, jobs, and families, and they cannot make it for this edition of the Lunch Hour. But you got us, and you know when it's us, what time we on. It's big chatty energy. The chatty boys are in the building. Make sure you get your food, get to the break room, get to your little spot in the break room before your idiot coworker get there and beat you to that spot. Because y'all know y'all be fighting over that particular table in the corner and lock in. But Macito, more importantly right now, the question is Diddy getting canceled? Revolt, he's stepping down temporarily as the chairman of Revolt. There's people saying that they don't want to sit next to him at the Grammys. He's some type of predator. Macy's is pulling all of the Sean John gear, but shit, niggas ain't been wearing Sean John for a minute. I'm surprised that there was still a Sean John section. No slander to Diddy at all. There's other pieces of information that's coming out that we'll get to in a second. But from your vantage point, Mace, is Puff getting canceled, gang?
Now, while I, sit up in a little corner and told everybody to watch it, I'm doing that myself. So, you know what I mean? We're not telling you to do anything we wouldn't do, folks.
Right.
Now, to the task at hand, is Diddy getting canceled? Ah, man, listen. Is Diddy getting canceled? I'm going to have to say yes, Job. I'm going to just come out and say it, man. Now, I'm not even going to bullshit with you. Listen, he's no longer on the head of Revolt, okay? 50 Cent constantly got his foot on this guy's neck. I'm seeing the Roger guy has interviews he wants to do. Gene Deal is on Art of Dialogue every day. Gene Deal is the Boosie of Art of Dialogue at this point. Like I feel like they spot. You know what I mean?
Or is he the Gipp? Free smoke.
He is quite focused. You know what I mean? He is quite focused on the task at hand. That actually makes sense. But is Diddy getting canceled? I'm gonna have to say, yeah, Job. He's been uninvited to the Grammys. You know what I mean? There's multiple people that are dropping him. You know, he was already going through the situation with the liquor company. You know what I mean? And a lot of conspiracy theorists think they got some sort of, shit going on in the background of this whole situation. But that's the tubers, you know what I mean? The guys who were making Illuminati videos 10 years ago, that's for them to cover. But listen, Job, is he getting canceled? I'm gonna say yeah, man. You know what I mean? His name is kind of mud out here. I'm seeing Gene Deal headlines talking about Diddy loves BBCs. You gotta chill. I know I'm getting at you, but you gotta chill with them captions, man. I scroll in front of my kids sometimes, bro.
But fam, we like how did we get here, Mace? You doing an interview with this nigga and you saying that Puff Daddy likes BBCs and he's having wild, crazy sex romps with Cassie and well-endowed black men? Like, what the fuck? What is going? Yeah, like, you know what it is? It's like I always seem to find like nothing surprises me, right? But I do get bewildered sometimes, and I ask a lot of times if I'm not asking who asked for this or saying nobody asked for this, I'm usually asking what's going on, because it's like, how did we get here? Like as a man, Mr. Deal, why are you on another man's platform talking to another man about what another man likes, bro? Like, in caps, first of all. Like, why are we piling on? Is Art cashing you out? Because you thoughting off with this Diddy info. Like, what's going on? You shaking a lot of ass with that Diddy info. What's going on, Mr. Dill?
Listen, Boosie said he get $500K from Vlad a year. You know what I mean? So apparently, they paying for the interview. Gene Dale commands per sit down. You know what I mean? I have never emailed him to ask him about that, but listen, I gotta assume, and this motherfucker got a new Diddy story every day. And I'm not trying to, listen, Diddy is on some super such time. And we've been through this since this man looked fabulous. Asked him when it was time to party. We've been knowing that. We didn't need the Cassie lawsuit details to come out to know that Puff Daddy has been on some wild shit. But I don't know. It's just, if everybody thought he was such a terrible guy, I hate to be that person, but Gene Dale, you was still collecting checks these things that you said, bro, you still was getting checks signed by Sean Combs, and you was fine with it. The Roger dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got he's like keeps teasing this shit where he's about to let the whole story be known and this, that, and the third. But it's like, yo, where was it? Said something, you know what I mean? Did you just have this book waiting? Was you just waiting on the downfall? So he is getting canceled, and I'll say the deals that he's losing in the type of, there's like big exposés coming out in the big magazines, the big publications. Right. So that's clear who is being canceled. You know what I mean? We've seen it happen with other public figures when they kind of wild out. But just for the record, I'm a little sickened by the, you know, I was down with Bad Boy for 3 years. Here's my story type vibe going on, man.
You know what it is too? And when it comes to Hollywood, bro, everybody's cool to party with you in Hollywood. Everybody's cool to do all of the weird shit. Because the thing is, everything we've read about the Hollywood lifestyle, when I say Hollywood, I don't mean the city. I mean the actual, metaphorically, the lifestyle that is fame and fortune, going Hollywood, so to speak. They say it's a world unto itself, and people all partake in the weirdest shit. And it's like, everyone is cool to party with you as long as you don't make it hot. And then everyone runs away from you. Then they do interviews putting you out there. Mr. Dill was in them parties. How you, like, first of all, I'm going back to it. How did you know that that homie that party with Diddy and Cassie allegedly? How you know his shit was big? You was in the room, Mr. Dill? How you know? Why do you know that? How come Mr. Dialogue didn't ask him that? That's what I'd like to know. Like, did you do the search, nigga? Did he ask you to get on the computer and search for that? Were you in the room? Did you have to hold a camera, my guy? Like, how do you know that? Shit like that. That's when you lose me. Everyone is on the bus with you until you make it hot. As for what he did with Cassie, we should have known that something was amiss when he settled the next day. I don't think I've ever seen that. Not at that scale. Never. I'm sure people settle in a day. But she asked for 30 M's and he settled the next day. I don't even think it was a whole 24 hours that the story was out before he settled. So that's an automatic red flag. You know what I'm saying? Then there's always been whispers about what happened with Kim Porter, his ex-lady who he's had multiple children with, a very beautiful soul, very beautiful woman who lost her life. And I don't even know how she passed away. There's always been like fuzzy information. She had an illness, etc., etc. The information has been blurry. And then I was perusing on Twitter, and I saw a video where, remember that Asian girl who was dating Diddy at the same time that him and Carisha first went public?
Yeah, I do remember
there's a whole video out. Yeah, there's a whole video out there that says that she got information saying that Puff had bugged Kim Porter's whole crib, and he basically had was recording. Her phone was tapped. There was microphones all over the crib, and she had to get like a security personnel to come and sweep the crib to find out that to actually validate that her crib was bugged. And then she started dating a person who was like a tech person to protect her from Diddy and all kinds of shit. And it's like, wait a minute, man, what? Then there's that video when Cassie and him was on the red carpet with another person who's part of that Hollywood lifestyle, a black man, relatively large dude whose name escapes me right now. But he shook Cassie's hand and Puff was perturbed. Like, he could not, like, why are you touching her? And it's like watching that video now is like, yo, fam, Diddy. So now I'm looking at Carisha and I'm like, now I gotta beg the question. Is Carisha under the same spell? It's the Santana nigga part of the team? Wasn't they on camera wrestling on the bed one time? No funny shit. That happened, right?
I don't remember that one, John Santana.
I think there's
wrestling on Diddy's bed.
I think him and Diddy was like wrestling. I could be wrong, gang. But I think there was a video on the socials when Diddy and Saucy Santana was wrestling.
Hey man, we gonna have to do the research. We gonna do the Googles on this one. I don't think John was coming out of nowhere with that one. You know what I mean?
I don't play them games. I'm not.
You know what I mean?
I mean, shout out academics. Shout out Academic. Shout out Star. I don't play them games. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure I saw that video. But I asked the question: is this a temporary cancellation, or are we seeing the beginning of the end of Puff Daddy as we know it?
You know what, Job? I'm gonna have to say this. Until there are actual criminal charges brought, I think he can escape a complete cancellation. I think it can be like, he can be persona non grata to the higher ups, and it's like we know not to put Puffy in certain ads or to do certain things. But the only I've seen, we know Robert, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We know a couple of other guys. It was people that was actually locked up, you know what I mean? So I think and even they got their supporters, guilty verdict and all, you know what I mean? Fed time and all. So I gotta assume that there's gonna be enough people that have money interest. But even if he gotta do the Kanye thing, right? Where he just goes, Kanye got canceled by mainstream, so he was doing right wing shit all the time. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't, until he's locked up, I think he'll be good, at least in some circles, because money talks at the end of the day.
You know what? I'm doing my Googles right now, and it seems like that video has been wiped from the internet. But if you type in Diddy and Saucy Santana and you type in WR, the word wrestling gets completed. So
the Google will tell on you. The search will tell on you, man.
But the video doesn't exist anymore.
Listen.
But I'm just saying, Puff. Yeah, man.
I was gonna say somehow, just like how somehow we didn't hear that Kid Cudi got his car blown up. I'm like, how did that news just like headlines? Like, what the fuck? Like,
what's even more concerning is that nobody really blinked at the Cudi part. We made fun of that. Like, damn, we don't love Cudi that bad that we just let that story just fly by. Like, this nigga tried to get his car blown up, gang. You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
man.
I'm really concerned about. I think that he might be out of here only because where we are as a culture with cancel culture and rape, violating the rights of women. And the fact that if these stories are true, because the thing is, you always got to say allegedly. If these stories are true, and you're telling me that the freak offs, the drugs, the controlling nature, whether Cassie was complicit or not, it's too messy.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then people in this capitalistic world, when things are too messy or shit is too loud, they move away from people. I think that they gave Diddy grace with the revolt thing, like by saying that it's temporary and he'll be back. I don't see it unless Diddy get on his Wolf of Wall Street vibes and he says, "I'm not fucking leaving." You know what I'm saying? I just don't see how this plays out in a way where we see Diddy in front of the camera for a while. Like, there's so many red flags. Like, you dated fucking Lori Harvey after your son did? Like, bro.
Yo. It's something that comes out like, what the fuck?
But nah, we got to shout out Lori Harvey because we buried the lead. Lori Harvey really is a superhero. Because she came out of that unscathed.
Unscathed.
And still,
Future.
Come on, bro. She's something else. But chat, let us know. Is Puff out of here? Mace is saying he's not sure yet. I'm saying I think he's toast. Not because I want him to be, but I just know how this country is. You know what I mean? And this is a layup for cancel culture. But as you following in, you know what I'm saying? You got your food. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, get familiar with us. Again, y'all been falling off. Y'all been stingy with them likes. We told you, even if a video only gets 1,000 views, the like button is free. You pull in each individual yard that makes the 1,000+ views, hit the like, getting us to 300 likes, keeps us in the algorithm, and allows us to grow the audience even more. It costs you nothing to hit that like button. Run it up. Roundtablemerch.com. You can copy a Rap Roundtable trucker. And if you're feeling generous, you can hit up the Rap Roundtable Cash App. Or you can throw something in the super chat. You know what I'm saying? All donations go right back into the podcast. Make sure you follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and of course Twitter. And I gotta say real quick before we get into the next topic. Big Gipp is on this. Shout out to According to Hip Hop. That's a big look for them. This has nothing to do with those guys at all. Like at the end of the day, you get a look like that. You gotta play the game. Respect the Mike D. Respect the Coop. Again, that's a big look. And apparently Mike D asked the right questions. Fair is fair. Mike D played the game right, and Big Gipp delivered. But on the reality of Big Gipp delivering is you got New York in your mouth again, Auntie, with that purple outfit looking like the Southern Joker and shit. You know what I mean? Arthur Fleck in the flesh. You know what I mean? Now you saying we a podcast town, bro? Like, I really don't want to hear none of that shit. Like, Big Gipp, as much as you keep complaining about what New York was in your day, it's not New York today. And to keep running with this rhetoric when you're not outside, you're not in the trenches with us, you're not part of the young New York wave, you obviously wasn't even part of the wave when we were young to understand how we digested music. You running around with damn near 30-year-old rhetoric about the Source Awards of New York, this and that, booing niggas at the Source Awards, and the South got something to say. How long we gonna run with that? You're educated, brother, and you've done no diligence at all to look into what New York is and what New York is truly about. You didn't do the knowledge on any of it, but you got all these opinions about us, and it's real tired. And be clear, we can be a podcast time because all of those rappers were lit. They were super lit, and they converted how lit they were into podcasts. And when they decide to come back outside and rap, it'll mean something to their fan base. Like you saying that there's a podcast town. Well, nigga, you're a podcast thought. You thoughting off your opinion. You're not even smart enough to start your own Gipper podcast. You out here just giving your takes away to other niggas. Again, shout out to According to Hip Hop. We're not even mad at that. I'm not even talking about Yomo. So y'all, everybody who watched the Rap Roundtable know how I feel about the art of dialogue and Big Gipp interviews. That shit really gets under my skin. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Like Big Gipp really gets under my skin. And it's like, start your own pod then, so you can look crazy. You out here just giving your bars away. Maybe we get paid for them shit. I don't know. But to say New York is a pod town when you've had a bigger impact in your career giving pod takes than musically says a lot more about you than it does about us. It's 2023, Gipp. It's not 1995. It's not 1993. All that old shit you've been on, let it go. Do the knowledge. Get familiar with the sound. Get familiar with the fact that niggas fuck with the South the same way you think that we don't fuck with the South. And you'll have to eat crow. And you'll realize how crazy you sound with some of the shit you've been saying because it's really out of bounds. While Mason's going, we're going to move on to the next topic. And that's with the boy, Jiggerman himself, J-Hova. Shout out to everybody who sent us this article. I think Guns GBS sent us it. And it's a few hours. I want to see. Maybe I could pull it up on my phone because I want to make sure I give people they proper due. But it was somewhere. I think it was a DM or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it was somebody sent. Oh, Michael Hines. Shout out to Michael Hines. He sent me the situation. There was another person on the Rap Roundtable page who sent it, saying that there's an auction for the Book of Hove, and in it has paraphernalia for all 13 of his solo releases, and then there's a slot for a 14th album that's currently empty, and that empty slot has led to a bunch of speculation. Obviously, if nothing else, Rock Nation, Jay-Z, they know how to play the media game. They know how to get the people going. They know how to roll out. Everybody don't know how to roll out, you dig? But the subtle rollout, the CBS interview, running back the CBS interview, the entire Book of Hove itself. You know what I'm saying? I felt like from the time he dropped the God Did verse and he kept saying the Book of Hove, that there was an album called the Book of Hove somewhere in the tuck somewhere. You know what I mean? So this makes a lot of sense now that there could potentially be a 14th album, because you know what? He could say that he don't want to make a bunch of tunes. We could say that he's above the fray. But if we've learned anything about Jay-Z in his career, it's that Hove is very thin-skinned. He doesn't like people, tugging at the cape, proverbially. And all the Nas fans and all of the hip-hop fans who felt like, yo, one, Nas ran past you with 6 albums in 3 years. Then you Hip Hop 50 came and you've been radio silent. Like, where the music at? I think I've said that. I think I've even asked, is he toast? We asked, is he afraid to come outside? And I believe that he's heard the noise. I believe that this album is gearing up. Coming back to Big Gipp. I think there's a situation. There might be a Gipp stray on this album. Because at this point, you can't tell me that there's not a Hove album coming. Like, the 14th, that's the dead giveaway. That's the rollout right there. So I'm fully expecting him to drop on his birthday. I think Diddy has said that Hove, he gonna play this out in December 4th. There might be an album release. If it was a Diddy with Sin, I'm trying to remember the conversation because we talk a lot. And it's not just the podcast. We talk in the group chat. It'd be shit. I wish the group chat could be a podcast because it'd be so much information that just goes through that sometimes we even forget to talk about it on the pod. But I think he's gonna drop on the 4th at the end of the actual exhibit itself, and it's gonna cause a commotion. And you know what? And I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little concerned about that album releasing because I think that's gonna cause division in the culture again. Like as much as we have celebrated Nas in his 6th album run, especially dropping 2 this year, about 2 in like 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, because I think he basically bookended the summer with Magic 2 and Magic 3. Anytime one of these guys comes outside, the old argument comes right back into play. Is it Nas? Is it Jay-Z? The Nas fans at the Jigga fans. The Jigga fans defensive going back at the Nas fans. So that's the only negative with these legends dropping music is that the divisiveness immediately is going to take place. The whole fans are going to fight back like, oh, we outside, it's fire. The Nas fans are going to probably say the album ain't shit. And then we're going to have the button heads yet again. But it's like, the question I have is this album going to be any good? Because you know what, like there was a lot of hype, there was a lot of pomp and circumstance about the God Did verse and how fire it was, and you had Guru saying it was his best verse and all this and that. And to me, I hope that Hove took the lesson from the God Did verse to where if you match the gas on the hype machine, it can have an adverse effect. Like you don't want to have the hype train to where people just want to tap in to panic, because the reality was some people wanted to pan the God Did verse before they heard it. And then there's a second layer to that the people who wanted to love it realized that you put it on gas so much that there's no way it could live up to that, or it never was that good to begin. So I hope that he took that lesson and he's like, I bet not too much gas for the Book of Hove album. Not too much, oh, it's the best thing since whatever for the Book of Hove. Let's just put this album out and let it do what it does. If you say that you got something substantial you want to say and you're not making a bunch of tunes, you know what I'm saying? Because you basically poo-pooing all the people who putting the albums out, then you got to deliver. You know, 444, some people love it. I'm not in that camp. I don't think 444 is a great album, partially because the message didn't connect with me, because a lot of the stuff he was talking about, a lot of the free game he was giving, I was already living that. So I didn't need that. I didn't need that from Jay-Z. You dig? I don't go to Jay-Z for that kind of game. You know what I'm saying? I need the Jigga man. I need the hustler. I need the shit talker, the braggadocious, the bravado. That's what I love about my favorite rapper. When you say good credit and do this, do that, I'm like, bro, I've been there. But I guess a large majority of his fan base probably needed that from Hove. But just make sure the album is good. If you could give me something closer in line to what you did with J Electronica, I'm totally here for it. I'm in lockstep with that album being that, because you talk your 5% of talk. You still give us a little bit of that street energy. You give us a lot of that bar work, that flow work, that pocket work that we know you're good for. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like he got reinvigorated on that J Elect album. If you give us that, there's not much you can say. Then 2023 Hip Hop 50, you could say could end on a strong note, because Nas has had it on his back. Fair is fair. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers that come here, oh, this is a Nas channel, this and that. Like, bro, we're a hip hop channel. And when hip hop is getting put on in the right way, if it happens to be one guy with 6 albums, then so be it. We're gonna celebrate him because he's doing it the right way. Shit, if Busta Rhymes would have came outside and that album was fire, we would have celebrated it. We would have put on in the most righteous way for that album. Like if if Flutopia was actually a rap album, we would have put on for it. So like I need Hov to look at what Nas did, because to me that's his main competition still. That is his only true contemporary, in fact. Look at what he did. And hopefully you got in the drawing board and said, you know what? If he's doing that, if he's giving niggas 6, and it's 6 different albums, different subject matter, varying from what's happening in Nas's life right now, to looking in the past, to looking ahead, to just being the general OG. If he takes that route, I don't see how this album could fail. But if you're telling me, and from what I read, this album is going to be inspired by the movie that's coming out on Netflix in a couple of months, I'm concerned. You know, because what, like, is this going to be a religious rap? Is he going to try to do what Kanye did? You know, like I got questions. Like, what exactly is this? It's not American Gangster, and this movie is supposedly like a religious comedy. You know what I'm saying? I need to figure out what exactly is Jay-Z gonna be bringing with this project. Like, don't bullshit us. Don't waste our time. Give us something fire, and allow us to cook up and talk about you in the way we need to talk about you, as opposed to slandering you unnecessarily. I see the homie Macito is back. You know what I mean? I'm talking about this whole album, bro. Like I basically laid out what I expect or what I hope for with this project. Alleged project based on what we saw with the Book of Hov exhibit. What are your thoughts and takeaways from what this potential what the rollout is with the empty 14th slot, and what this album could potentially be about?
The rollout is underwhelming. I'm gonna be honest. I think we're kind of past the point, and it's kind of hard for the older artists to see that, right? Jay-Z is this, like, you know what I mean? Like, not the type of shit where it's like social media talking about you, not the type of shit where it's like, you know, hey, I heard a new Jay-Z album. Like, the entire game talks about it. So I can see him, you know, just thinking of himself in a certain way where he feels like he got to do this, the cryptic 14th album shit. Listen, we'd be fine if Jay just fucking dropped, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. And with the way shit works is you kind of only build up some sort of weird anticipation, you know what I mean, when you do this type of shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, what if you come out and this shit is a dud, bro? Do you realize it's gonna be even worse if you do this missing 14 slot shit and this, you know what I mean, this whole triple interview and shit, and the Book of Hov and the 50th year of hip hop, which, you know what I mean, let's be honest, you know, gotten the ball from now, but they was leaning on him heavy when it was that weekend, when it was that week, niggas was looking at him crazy. So it's like, fuck all the cryptic shit, bro. You know what I mean? You mentioned the shit with Jay Electronica. To me, that's the way to go. You know what I mean? Just drop some shit. The bar are concise. The flow is in pocket. Like, I'm not here to hear about Jay-Z wax poetic about, you know, the entire world. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear, you know, I'm not trying to get my life changed by the next Jay-Z record. You know, I know 444 for a lot of these niggas. They've been living their life by them rules since the shit dropped. You know what I mean? For that, I just want him to compete at the highest level. You know what I mean? And be, you know, the thing is, it's like, one thing I feel like has been proven is that with more reps, shit will be better. So I'm like, I would be feeling more comfortable if maybe he did drop a couple 91444. They could have been okay-ish, but it's like, now you know what I mean? You see how we treat Kenny, bro? You know what I mean? And this is Jay-Z, not Kenny Lamar. You know what I mean? This is Jay-Z. So it's like, I want to be able to just listen and get past the drops, but I feel like he isn't helping with the way he's presenting things. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, and be clear, I feel like the wolves are out. They waiting for this album. Everybody is waiting for this album to either love it or pan it. And I think it's more so pan than love. Like, they need this album to be shit. You talked all that shit about being a GOAT, you better drop some fire. You know what I mean? So, like, he can't afford to put out a dud, bro.
and I mentioned, shouts to the homies from Fresh Out. We chilled with them the other day. We got into a K talk. You know what I mean? I spoke over there that, maybe, 2013, it might have, maybe you could have dropped some, subpar material. You still with Jay, who was you really competing with at the top of the game at that point? But I have to say, in 2020, it's a little bit more competitive, especially when it comes to like real rap. You know what I'm saying? Barsmiths. I get, Lil Uzi is out here still doing his thing, and we got all the young boys and all of this shit is going on. But to the niggas who pay attention, there's a shift in Jaw wants to speak about this shit. So it's like, I feel like with the competitive nature of what shit is going on right now. I mean, did you hear that Ransom freestyle today over Evil Ways? Bro. I mean, Jesus Christ. Niggas like that are out here, you know what I'm saying? So it's like maybe niggas know. Maybe niggas know that they can't just drop, even the God did verse. I was caught up in the hysteria of it all. I still love the verse. But people who really listen to rap on another level, people like you, like Dini, like Sin, say, this is not quite what it's made up to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like 10 years felt that way. But with the shit that's going on outside, it's like, hold on, wait a second. Maybe Jay is feeling like I can't go out there on my Wizards Jordan shit. You know what I mean? When Kobe and T-Mac is out here now.
Shit. I mean, Hove running the risk of going out there like, I'm trying to find a better comparison than, because he was already Wizards Mike. It's like are you
TNA Hulk Hogan?
Like, come on, like, yeah, like it's rough. I want to say something, but I don't want to violate, because I've been listening to the audio. Well, I just finished the audio book for the Showtime Lakers. You know what I'm saying? The original joint, and something happened around 1995, 96 that gets covered. A certain somebody made a comeback, and he was a shell of his former self. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? I don't want to disrespect the God like that. It's Showtime by Jeff Pearlman, if you want to look into it. But he came back. He was like 35% of who he used to be, and it was a harsh reality. But beyond that, I think that if he comes outside, you mentioned Ransom. The difference is now, as opposed to then, is that all of these new spitters are willing to take shots. They will throw a bar at you. Ransom throws darts at everybody. So it's like, you got to be real careful. If you're going to come outside with all this quality rap right now, and the GOAT status is in great question, or in some cases denied altogether, this next project better be the best one. He don't got a choice. It can't be no fuck shit. He got to deliver. You know what I'm saying? But again, before we get up out of here, bro, we got to remind y'all, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We at 12.3K subs at the moment. Help us get to 13K. We're trying to get to 15K by the end of the year. And with those likes and those subs, you will help us do that. Make sure you do that. And again, follow us on social media, Rap Roundtable on Facebook, the Rap Roundtable on Instagram, Rap Roundtable PC on Twitter. Hit that follow button. And last but not least, before we get out of here, we mentioned the spitters. We mentioned the barsmiths. Right. We mentioned the people who are not afraid to throw darts and get active in this very active lyrical space. But what we didn't account for is one of our favorites playing the rollout game ahead of his major label release. Benny the Butcher game.
Oh.
What is this? What is this? Now, be clear. We love the Benny and Freddie Gibbs rap beef. This is a throwback to the beefs we grew up on, where if fisticuffs happen, pettiness happens, bars happen. But I feel like we've gotten the fisticuffs, we've gotten the pettiness, but we haven't gotten the bars. Then I wake up and I go on the internet, and then I see this woman who said that Freddie Gibbs spread his cheeks, is hugging up with the nigga that beat up Freddie Gibbs at the restaurant she was at, where she almost got beat up when she got hit. I don't remember as well. Then I thought about it, and I was in the group chat, the other group chat, not the Rap Roundtable group chat, and I was saying this is rollout games, and they were trying to tell me, nah, this is just a chick thotting off because her feelings is hurt. You know what? I played nice that day. I ain't feel like arguing because I know I got a podcast and I can get my shit off.
Right.
This is a rollout move. Now you want to re-spark the beef because the big dog single ain't take off. Then you did the big dog clip in the back of the nice vehicle. That didn't even get 1,000 likes on Twitter. I don't know what it's doing on Instagram, but to me, Twitter is the best barometer of everything. I think I value Twitter more than any other social media platform because to me, people are the most ruthless on there, right? When you're not even getting 1,000 likes for your album shit. Now this happens. Again, I ask, where the music at? Because nobody asked for this shit. Mace, make it make sense.
Nah, nobody asked for this, but I'm not gonna lie, man. This is straight out of the classic hip hop rollout. So if anybody's questioning if it's a rollout, I don't even think there's a debate there. I'm not pretty clear to me. Like this is like the old school 50 Cent. You know what I mean? Jay-Z, Tupac, like the GOATs have rolled out like this. Like, let pause, you know what I mean? But I agree with you in the sense that music has to follow. But I'm gonna be honest, Benny is kind of acting like he know he got the music coming that's gonna be heat. We spoke to Low swears by the album. You know what I mean? Low say he heard it and that this shit is going crazy. You know what I mean? That's the voice that we trust in this space. Not all of you motherfuckers. You know, so it's like I feel like Benny is going to follow it up with music. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be honest. I'm enjoying the drama, man. I like the rollout. Just like you mentioned, it's layers to the shit. You know what I mean? He posing with the shorty in the rib shack. You know what I mean? Pull up the Buffalo again. You know what I mean? Listen, you got academics posting your antics. You know what I mean? Shouts to Act. You know what I mean? We've been over there recently, but I'm not mad at it, y'all. Like this is like this the type of shit that niggas used to be on DJ K Slay. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? This is my type of classic, especially when you speak about a New York City artist, how petty we are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but he's from Buffalo.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's not ours. He's not ours. He's from Buffalo.
Hey, that's so spicy these days, bro.
You're right. Listen, you know what it is?
You heard Gipp, we ain't got nothing, man.
New York got the best rap podcast in the world, a rap round table. Fuck that. We a podcast town, and we do it better than all of you niggas. But anyway, it just hurts me to see Benny doing this. Because he got this far just rapping, not playing the industry games. Now again, maybe my brother in that other group chat is right, and this is just a hurt woman looking for an opportunity with the nigga whose album's coming out in a little bit, and Benny being Benny because it's real beef, took the opportunity to step on his top ops, neck a little bit. Maybe that's what this is. But from my vantage point, it's just like, bro, like we didn't need this right now. You was on the internet calling her a porn star and just you kind of calling her a treesh and all of that like a year ago. You know what I'm saying? So now you flicking it up on her and you look at the picture. He in her neck a little bit, or like he's pantomiming being in her neck, and it's like, come on, bro. Gibbs been inside virtually all year. We haven't really heard from Gibbs. He tweet here and there. Don't get me wrong, but Gibbs ain't been real loud since Freddie Gibbs happened. Let's be clear. Like that happened. Like he got very quiet. He's been very humble since that situation came about. I know this bar is coming, but it's like, I think that Benny's better than this. He don't need to do this. Def Jam just needs to pick the right single. To me, picking Lil Wayne and Big Dog reminds me of when Def Jam fumbled with Fabulous when he first signed to Def Jam. And that's back when Swizz was at the peak as much as we mad at Swizz right now, mid 2000s Swizz, that guy, a monster. That guy is the reason why Swizz talks the way he talks today. Because that version of Swizz, unstoppable. And there was a record called Return of the Hustle, produced by Swizz Beatz, On the Hook, Fabulous, Def Jam debut. I remember I heard it. I went crazy. This song is as an animal. Loso is spitting. But then for some reason, when the single came out, He went with diamonds on my damn chain, diamonds on my damn chain, diamonds. Remember that record? And I'm like, I think it was first Jeezy, and then it went over to Lil Wayne. And it's like,
interesting.
Like, why did you pick that as a single? Now I know why you did, because it's market shares, and the South has a stranglehold on the market, and you want to make sure you touch that region. I'm not against that, but if you're gonna pick a record that hits. Like Diamonds was not better than Return of the Hustle, and Return of the Hustle had a funk to it that it would have played in any region if you leaned into it. You know what I'm saying? And you had Swiss Beats when Swiss Beats was unstoppable, and you fumbled it. So it's like, I know I'm gonna hear mad records where it's gonna be way better than Big Dog, and we're gonna be wondering why this wasn't a single, why wasn't this a single, why this wasn't a single. Like I remember when he had a Tender Talk, was it Tender Talk? Plugs I Met Too, and you had Plug Talk with 2 Chainz. I'm like, why wasn't this record out 2 months before the joint release? And again, Plug Talk is a great record with a great vibe, a southern artist that could play in the strip club, could play in the whip, and you put it out like weeks or a month after the album drop. It's like, who's just making these decisions for Benny? Like, if you had a Plug Talk on this album, that would have been your lead single. Then I have nothing to say, because that song would have been fire. I'd have been running it. Benny and Rose, Rapper Estates, like there's records where we've seen it. So now you gotta relegate yourself to doing shit to stay on the internet and play this rap beef game ahead of your rollout. Is it even real beef anymore? You just trying to get clicks? Like, I'm not fucking with this, mate.
And it's like, it's the Def Jam fuckery is on full display if you know what to look for, right? Because on top of the fact that Benny's never really been in these type of issues. Benny's always, even when Benny got shot, he didn't use that. You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden the beef is in the marketing, and it's like viral pictures. And if you notice, when the picture got posted, it's at the time when everybody's on their phones, you know what I mean?
There you go.
And then even down to the single, I'm like, I'm at now a few weeks later, I'm like, did Def Jam decide, because they knew the Wayne 2 Chainz single was dropping featuring Benny, they kind of wanted a single, a double look type of situation.
You wanted to be on trend.
I don't think it was executed well, you know what I mean? But I think Def Jam's trying to save money, let's be honest. You know what I mean? Let's put out all of y'all shit together. You know, Wayne probably did the verse for the low, because you know that's rappers do that for rappers. So it's like watching at the way the rollout is in that aspect musically, it is a little bit of it's a little sus. You know what I mean? But and I will say this, when it comes to even last year, you know, on the socials and all of this, you know, in the streets, I guess you can say, Benny did take the W, but at the end of the year, we kind of agreed that, you know, Triple S was better than Tender Talk 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. So if like successfully win this specific issue, he still gotta come with that heat, because right now Freddie won up on the albums that dropped since they had their little issues with each other. Freddie is up 1-0. So hopefully, you know, I feel like that. But listen, if it's not, you know, we might be having that on the clock conversation about our boy. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's walking his way to that clock, because fuck, at this point, Benny's in a position where 2 things gotta happen. You did this, and we laughed at it. Don't get me wrong. This is a funny situation. As a man, this is nasty work. Like Benny, like not Benny, Freddie, like this is a tough look for you. Be clear. But what I'm looking at, Benny, 2 things needs to happen. If there's another single after Big Dog, it has to be out of here. Also, the album has to deliver. The album has to deliver. Like, it can't just be like a 3.5 out of 5, or it can't just have a couple of joints worth of Dini. This album needs to be burden of proof level, 10 to Talk 3 level. Shit me, like it has to be that. Plugs I Met 1 level. You got to drop something that's gonna stand up and make people like myself shut up. The thing is, it pains me. I'm a Benny supporter. I don't want to talk about this guy like this. I'm ready to give him the title. We've been trying to give Benny the belt for like 2 years now.
We was trying, yeah. Burden of proof, definitely.
But nevertheless, I think we could stop here. We cooked up a nice little lunch hour. We hope you enjoyed it. We missed our brothers Sincere and Dini, but again, they have business to tend to, and they'll be on deck for the next episode, whenever that is. It might be the live, might be in studio. We're trying to figure it out. We got some things moving behind the scenes. We shout out to Platinum Sound Studio. Hey Sharon, how you doing? We was at Jay Stone's listening party at Platinum Sounds the other night. We got to see Nipsey Hussle pulled up to not Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace. Nip is on my mind because he was on the first single, and
Stone is his
that's his man's. But Dave East pulled up, Bobby Shmurda pulled up. It was a cool night. It was a good night for the blue team. Put it that way at the event. You know what I'm saying? And the album's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like let me give you the name of the album right now so that you could tap in. Because again, like if you like classic, that true West feel, and not like a West Coast rapper that's like he jumps from region to region. This is a true West project. The definition of success, Jay Stone. Go get that on Apple Music or Spotify, wherever you streaming music. This project is fire. He ran it back to back like 2 or 3 times. And to me, I love West Coast rap, and it sounds like West Coast rap. Like I listen to LA Leakers because they play that pure, uncut West Coast shit, and I love it. And low key, he a spitter. You know what I'm saying? He rhyming on it. He give you some reality raps. You know what I mean? Shit that you can really rock with. Give you that gang shit. Like to me, this is like a super West Coast version of the shit that Schoolboy does. When he talking about that crippy, he talking about that street shit, he talking about that life shit, and they got a little bounce to it when necessary. Jay Stone, the definition of success. Fuck with that. If you haven't already, or especially you Hit Boy fans, Hit Boy produced the first single with Nip on there.
Yeah,
run it up. Help that man get his streams up. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, this has been the Lunch Hour. It's your boy Jav. You know what I mean? Again, hit that like button, subscribe to homie Mace, run those numbers up, follow us on social media, roundtablemerch.com, copy one of them truckers. And again, if you're watching this and you've copped that trucker, everybody who's owned a trucker, and a few of y'all done bought them truckers now. We need picks because we before the year is out, everybody who's bought a hat, we need them picks so that we can post a little collage of everybody who supported the brand, so people can see that they rocking the symbol that represents all hip hop conversations in 2023 and going forward. Again, it's your boy Jav, Macito for the Lunch Hour. We out of here.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Later.